I walked in here to read a book, and I left the book laying in the other room. I don't know if I'll get out of the chair. So, yeah, I guess I'll just. I mean, it's not like I don't have other books to read. I just want to read that one. But holding the bag. Who's holding the bag? That's something I'm going to talk about today. When your adventurers are plundering whatever, how much resistance do you get for asking who's carrying it? Let's be honest. If they're not using a porter who's assigned to carry everything, who's carrying the bag? This seems for some reason to just pause my game for 5 minutes every time, maybe 10. When I ask who's carrying the loot that you just got, and then no one wants to. It just kind of gets vague, and that's not. I just throw it in my backpack. All right. Everybody know I have it, but I throw it in my backpack. All right. And then everything slows down and then picks back up. This is a bookkeeping thing. It's important to know who's carrying what in the dungeon. Do you want to know why? Pits, petrification, disintegration, all that. If you are eliminated by a massive magical effect or a elemental effect, and sometimes just massive damage, like from a crushing trap, all your stuff's destroyed. So that everything in the portable hole or the bag of holding or the 500 platinum pieces in the large sack is gone. You didn't get to take it back to town because it was destroyed beyond use and measure. The same thing with unique magic items you find in the dungeon. It's gone. Sorry. We had a guy get swept in. We had 2 guys get thrown in the water a game ago, mainly because they were fighting an intelligent undead creature who could teleport people. So he teleported the guy who was hurting him into the water, and he cut all his stuff off and swam to the shore, and then was like, "What about my sword? I mean, you said you swam." No one said I am making sure to carry my weapon. You were fighting for your life, and you cut off all your armor at the bottom of a swift current river, and you swam to safety and lost everything. The other guy was killed, and for dramatic effect, I had the undead creature lift him up and throw him off unceremoniously into the river below. Splash. All his shit got swept away into the great unknown. And they're mashing and gnashing their teeth because they don't want to lose anything. That as soon as your body's dead, they're already looting it. You're not getting buried with anything because we have a use for it. Too bad. And that's what happens. So they tossed them. They lost 2 guys, and I asked because I have pit traps, and some of the dungeons I use have bottomless pits or disintegration traps. Or if you're separated and die from the party, and you're carrying all the loot, then they may not get it again. They may flee and never come back, and that stuff was lost. You'll be a skeleton found with a lot of cool stuff by either a wandering monster that adds it to their lair or an adventuring group in the future. Well, I found a gem underneath this dead body's pile of armor. Die on a beach, you eventually sift into the sand. Years later, someone digs through the sand, throws your bones unceremoniously into the river, and plucks up that gem that was clutched in your hand. Ooh, in my pocket it goes. Yeah, it's basic bookkeeping stuff, you know. We're not always out to screw you over, guys. It's just who's carrying this, who's carrying the what, and maybe I should check encumbrance. Wow, you just picked up a 1,500 coins, that's 150 pounds. You're carrying an extra 150 pounds, so your movement rate's 10 now. You guys are moving a little slower. Well, let's distribute the weight. Okay. Each person's carrying X amount of money. So if something happens to somebody, then that money's gone. Simple. Practical. I mean, it's basic stuff, people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't consider myself a vindictive, malicious DM, but I do like details. When I ask for details, it's for clarification. So, y'all having that problem. And when it gets to be bigger, some of the more common magic items that people love for treasure loot, a bag of holding holds 10,000 coins. And if you lose 10,000 coins at a time, that's a big hit. So it's important who has it, or if you're even carrying it with you on adventure. So there's always arguments over stuff that shouldn't matter. It should be like, oh yeah, such and such is carrying it for right now. When we rest, we'll talk about separating the bundle or hiding the treasure. They left like 1,500 copper coins just laying in a room. They just like, we ain't carrying that. We ain't carrying that trash. I'm not carrying that 15 gold pieces. It's not worth it. It's 150 pounds. And the chest. But the chest is loot in itself because otherwise you got to buy chests. So if you're carrying stuff out in a chest, you can carry a lot more than just throwing in backpacks and stuff. But 2 people are required to carry it. These guys' hirelings were wiped out this last session. All their oarsmen caught arrows and bolts from the orcs, so they don't have extra bodies just to carry stuff. And they're having a hard time hiring people. So porters are a rare commodity because the mortality rate for going with you guys into depths is kind of high. So if you're not paying insane wages, people don't risk their lives usually. So that's what it is. Fun times. Who's holding the bag? It's a simple question to ask.